Good afternoon, Chabut.
Hi, Wei Ming.
Okay, so we'll start with the question and answers for today.
Sure.
So the first question from Ching Ai, Malaysia. How can I help myself overcome the regret of making a bad decision in life or my career?
I thought this one is pertaining to meditation. Okay, never mind. Uh, well, it's over already. Decision, what, it has been done already, so it's a past. Just start anew. Look for something new. Huh? Okay? Whatever thing pass, let it pass, never mind. Don't regret over it. You regret also, we can't change anything at all. Just go ahead with the new thing.
Next question from JS, Malaysia. What should I do if I experience pain on my hip and legs during sitting meditation? The pain usually comes after 1 hour plus of sitting meditation.
Yeah. Okay. These are the common symptom which every meditator will experience. Just bear with it, and as your concentration getting better, then you're able to cushion out this kind of uneasy feeling, so-called pain or just keep sitting, Don't worry, endure it a bit.
Next one is from Lalita from US. How to get rid of anger and anxiety?
Okay. The first thing we must cultivate is, of course, again, the concentration, because just being mindful is not enough. A lot of people say, just be mindful, just be mindful. It's not enough. First thing, anger should be overcome by cultivating thoughts of goodwill, metta bhavana. That means if you're a person who always get angry, agitated very easily, and full of like a gas tank, very easy to explode, it's good that we cultivate thoughts of goodwill, right? And again, the thoughts of goodwill, you can, there's many YouTube on how to sit and cultivate thoughts of goodwill. And likewise, if your mind is calm in concentrations, then this anxiety issue was gradually goes away. Because why? When your mind is concentrated, then you can detect or arrest those things that's triggering, or what are the issue that make you anxious, what are the things. And of course, for meditation to solve all problem, is one level. Another level is maybe due to your thyroid. Thyroid. I have someone who come with this problem, and meditation partially help her, right? And later when she go and see a doctor, and she got this thyroid problem. That's why she got so excited. So and medication also can help. Plus her meditations. Okay.
Then the next question from Eric from Australia. As a layperson, sometimes with the condition we saw, heard, or feel, some wrong view may occur very quickly. And then but there was no action that was being acted upon. So will this cause any karma? And how do we effectively purify our mind?
Of course, it's karma. Any thought moment arising in our mind, which called mental, which we call manokam. Manokam means karma that you come up from the mind state first. Everything started from the mind, and because you are still okay, still mindful, still can have this kind of self-control, that's why it doesn't go out of hand. You doesn't react. So it's just a mental act, which normally people at large will have this type of problem, right? We cannot say no, only that whether you react or don't you react, right? Okay, you say that how to prevent. Again, you need to meditate. It is only through meditations, right? Strong foundations of samadhi, strong foundations. Just mindfulness itself is not enough. You got to have samadhi, because you need to have this strong foundation of the mind. Until the mind can enter the state of samadhi, they can have the kind of called piti. Huh? And then the mind can easily detect, and it won't. Sometimes just a wobbling, something moving inside your haven't developed into a full thought. Say, this uneasiness in you, they know, something is coming out. And when you are mindful of that, it doesn't manifest into a thought at all. But something is coming up, but it doesn't manifest at all, and nothing happened. But sometimes contact pop, it happens so fast. Eye contact, ear contact, nose contact, pop, up already, and it take over the mind. And then now is certain people they still can control, but you can see from the face reaction that they are very angry, very dissatisfied, or very not happy about certain issue. Then you can see this. You look at her face, or look at his face, fungus face. Why? Not happy of certain issue, but they doesn't express. But if a person is just mentally, so through mental one is again, you need to meditate. Even though it happened, but we don't react to it. Okay?
Thank you. The next question is on the sharing of merit. So from Ching in Singapore. So when we are taught to share merit, what is the mind supposed to imagine or feel? If one is in grief, how can one think and share merits in a good state of mind? Can I share merits with non-humans like pet, dog, or cat who has just passed on? And can we share merits to those still living with us?
Well, with cat, dogs, easy. You don't have to share merit. Give them food, pat on the head. Come here, come here. Right? Animal, like human being. We talk about elementary level. Right? You want people to be good to you. You got to be good to people. You must be the first one to give. First one to open your arm and say hello, good morning, how are you? First one to greet, first one to give. Then you have the kind of rapport. This is on the basic level of human beings, of involving in this, what we call it, social ethics, right? Manners, politeness. And for dogs and cats, you don't have to share merit, because why? The minute you treat them properly, they will stick with you. The rapport. It's just like our cat here. You see, the monk always give all the cat food. The minute the cat saw the monk, he will run to the monk and say how powerful the cat go up because of the merit, because of the food. Right? So again, I say again, sometimes we like sharing our merit to a dog when they're still alive, we treat them like a human being. Another being, give them the kind of tender care, give them the kind of caring that they will stay with you, right? And for human beings, same thing, right? And if you can develop that, then you don't worry. After they die, where will they go? You don't have to worry, because their mind state is so happy, right? So happy. And for human being, unless this being calm, in your meditations, and that provided the individuals are able to perceive this being coming, or they might dream of someone coming to them to seek for help, then you may do transfer merit. So we got to treat this issue into two different directions. Okay?
So the next question also on sharing of merit. So from Ching Ching in Malaysia, her ex-boss just passed away suddenly due to brain tumor. She didn't have a chance to say goodbye, and she keeps thinking about him and how to dedicate marriage to him. But afraid that after dedicating marriage, he will follow her and keep thinking. So how can she deal with it?
That's the problem with people who are uncertain and have all kinds of thinking that on one hand you want to help people, another hand you're scared that you're helping people, helping this being will follow you. You know, how can you be so sure that they will follow you? Or how can you be so sure that your boss will receive your merit? Right? But because he is your boss, right? And you have the gratitude towards him, and that's the only way if we want to recall, is to do merit for him under his name, right? If you are so scared, then you may ask somebody else and say, this is my boss name, please do it for me. You want to do good, then you're scared of having people from asking favor from you again. Then what kind of good is that? Just like someone who want to do charitable activity, but on the other hand, worry about tiredness, worry about after will be overload, this and that. Then, but at the first place, don't do. Now, if you want to do, we do it with be mentally prepared that, okay, this is what is our approach. This is the approach we're going to do. Then no problem. But as for this sharing merit, no problem. Don't worry. Don't worry. Just go ahead and do it. It's good.
Okay, next question from Chiwa, Singapore. Can Tanjau teach us the technique of cutting the body and burning it so that we can lessen attachment to the body?
Before we go into this topic, first thing, you got to have a strong foundations of samadhi. That means you must be able to sit. I repeat, must be able to sit 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour, at least 1 hour without moving, 1 hour of concentrating on your object of meditations until the mind can enter samadhi. This is very important. If you don't have the base of samadhi, it's very hard for you to contemplate. Because why? The minute you contemplate, there's a lot of thoughts that will arise, and you cannot contain them. So if your samadhi is strong, when your samadhi is strong, the minute you bring in this object, you cut the head. You really see your own head drop off and blood just shoot out like that. That is a method that we can see that, okay, your power of concentration is matured enough to do this kind of exercise. If not, it's just thinking. It's just thinking like spreading of the breath, which is the same thing, but you doesn't get the real insight unless you keep doing it again and again and again and again. So the base of samadhi is very important. For example, you're watching the breath, you just go, watch your breath, or you use putto. Just putto until you can maintain the putto for many hours. The best is whole day, whole night. You just putto until the putto become, the mind only have putto, nothing else. Right? Until the putto leave the mind by itself and just left this pure awareness. Right? And for people who might say that, hey, Ajahn, we don't have so much time like you mentioned, so is there a possibility there's any shorter time or not? Yes, you can do it, but the effect is not so effective. Like for example, you may sit for about maybe half hour, at least half hour, 20 minutes, half hour of concentrations, and before you proceed with this cutting exercise, bisecting of the body. That means after half hour, you find that your mind have come to quite stabilized. How to define these stabilizations of your own mind state? That means while you're sitting, right, normally your mind will have a lot of intruding thoughts. That means thoughts are surface in your mind, and it has an impact on you. You can't concentrate. You can't see your object clearly. So you got to create a foothold onto your object first. This is the first thing you got to do. Put toe, or watching until the mind can Okay, second thing, thought that still arise, subsided, and this thought doesn't have any impact or influence over the mind. That means you can focus onto the object clearly, right? And you prolong that clarity state of mind, right? Until you feel the kind of fullness. That means mentally you feel that okay, you are ready to proceed with the exercise. Then you start to bring the awareness back to the body. Back to the body first. You are doing a cutting body exercise. Back to the body and go to your ear. Just imagine that you're taking a chopper or whatever thing you like. You may take a chainsaw, a chopper, a knife, a razor blade or what. But don't go and really take a razor blade and cut. You just imagine, right, and focus. Like for example, you just create a mental image of a knife and pop, cut your ear. And because of your focus and cutting and imagining, this kind of imaging, you can really feel the pain. Sometimes you may sort of whoosh, then you go and feel whether your ear is still around or is still around there. Then you say that, oh, okay, your concentration is powerful. Then you continue, right ear, left ear, cut it, dig out your both eye, cut the nose, cut the mouth, cut your throat, cut the scalp, take out the brain, put it aside, and then you use your knife, chop the hand, chop different part of the hand, cut it, put it one side, and then cut it. All these we call it mental exercises. Mental exercise. This is to induce. This one will induce what insight. You will corner your mind, which is damn crazy, to teach the mind that look here. Hey, you look here. You don't have to say look here. You just teach the mind about cutting and burn it, and you can see the reaction from your mind. There's a lot of reaction that will occur during these exercises because why? Your mind will resist and say that, no, why you cut? Crazy or what? This is so neurotic. This is crazy. This is, a very negative thought. Like this, what they call that, the mental medical people, they doesn't know that the Buddha's teaching is to enable a person, right, to be dispassionate about this human existence, to let go, so that you can detach from all this craving, all this sensual craving which has been troubling us all this while. You got to do contemplation of body if you want to overcome this kind of problem, right? And after you don't do one time only, you got to do many times. Do it again and again and again and burn it. And after you burn it already, you start to ask yourself, what is there left behind? What is life? What is status? What is name? What is fame? What is called beauty? What is called attachment to relationship and blah, blah. Everything that you have this problem in your mind, all this craving that pop up. Every time you do this exercise, you just bring your troubled mind that's been troubling you to this object and refer it and ask yourself. Straight away, let me tell you, your mind will solve the problem right and there. The mind, it's crazy. If die, we have nothing ready. But if you don't have a reference point that you dissect the body and just think about it, it doesn't work. Not powerful enough. Not powerful enough. It doesn't have a base for the mind to really see that this body is impermanent. You can't bring anything along. Then we talk about lessening of your greed, hatred, delusion, then there will be a way out. The more you do it, you don't have to say that I'm letting go. The mind will let go by itself. Because a lot of things you look at it, for example, you used to fight over something, and then when you start to meditate, the more you meditate, the more you sort of, okay, you want to have this thing? Go ahead. Then people find it, Is he crazy? How come he's not that confrontational anymore, not so aggressive? No, because we see that it's silly. It's so silly to fight over all this external thing, and at the end we cannot bring anything along. So silly. Okay, next one. Next. Wei Ming.
Sorry, forgot to unmute. Okay, next question from Hui Jian from Malaysia. I sense myself picking up negative vibes from others easily as my spiritual cultivation deepens. Is it because this is a sign of mindfulness has improved? And I see myself wanting to avoid people that are negative. If they are my family members, it's not possible to avoid them. How can I extend compassion towards them instead of wanting to avoid them? Thank you.
Well, it's true, because the more you cultivate, the more sensitive you will be. Sometimes people haven't come. At night already, you know already what's going to happen next day. If your meditation is really good, you don't have to even see the person. You see the person since last night already. Like, some negative thing is coming along the way today. You better be prepared. Yes, but of course, based on compassionate ground, sometimes we must have some, they say, leeway for people. When people are lost, people are sad, they don't know what to do. That's why they are behaving so recklessly or carelessly, or if you're a person practicing meditation correctly, we won't say that we want to run. We don't have to. We don't say that we want to invite. No, if if this is karmic that you got to face it, you can't run. Let me tell you, you can't run. The more you run, the more problem will come after you. Let me tell you. But if you want to solve it, and come what may, just solve it. But of course, when we're solving help, or if we think that we can help, we help. If you cannot, we just give advice. And if cannot give advice, just keep our mouth shut, and that's it. And what can I do? Even we tell them, people also don't listen. So it just that be it. Okay.
Next question from Fu. I have issues meditating and I dislike chanting. How do I progress in my practice?
Okay. In this kind of method, the more you don't like a thing, the more you make the mind go and do it. Why you don't like chanting? What's so bad about the chanting? You got to make the mind go and chant. Because chanting is what? Is the recollections of the Buddha's teaching. It's just like repeating of the words, the teaching of the Buddha. It's a kind of reflections. If you don't like the chanting, then you might read the translations, to reflect. Every day you go around, 1 round, 2 round. It's good, it's very refreshing. It got a kind of, it builds the kind of confidence and trust. It's just that when, if we never chant, I feel very uneasy. We never do the prayer, like something missing. And one day we chant so many hours. We never say that chanting is so refreshing. People will say that they don't like. If you're practicing, you like and don't like, something is wrong. Okay? So go ahead. Something you don't like, just ask yourself why you don't like. What's so bad about the chanting? Okay?
Next question from Lee, Malaysia. Does walking meditation has the same effect as sitting in terms of samadhi and contemplation? How many hours of walking is equivalent to 3 hours of sitting?
You cannot decide. You cannot compare how many hours with the mind state. You can't. Some people may be sitting there for days, but daydreaming. They think of the family. I gave you one example last time when I was a junior monk in Rayong. I saw this guy sitting in the JD for so many hours, so straight, I was so impressed because he's a lay people. I want to mop the pagoda. I feel guilty that I might disturb his samadhi, so I'm not there to mop. I went until he sit until morning and 4 something, and then he start to wake up. I said, okay, I go and mop. After mopping the JD, I asked him. I was very, because I like sharing. I want you to share. I said, what is your object of meditation? You know what he told me? He said, oh, I'm thinking about what my father is doing now. And then my mother, my sister, my brother, my house. I said, oh, shit. I can sit for so many hours daydreaming. So no, 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 no. Never gauge. Never gauge how many hours. And again, using the hour of sitting and walking, are they the same? No, you cannot gauge. For walking, of course, it's more easily to concentrate for certain people. And to be very frank, I like walking a lot. I like because the mind calm down very, very fast when you walk. You get concentration so fast, the mind just zoop in already. And you got to, again, we cannot have a one answer to suit all, that this is the way. No, no. Individual. Some people prefer more sitting. Some people prefer more walking. Like in Thailand, there was this the elder, this teacher, Nong Pu So, in Nampa Phang. He walked. He walked whole day, whole night in his walking path, right? He go Bindabat, come back. He seldom go anywhere. He just walk only whole day. If you want to go anywhere, go to the walking path. He will be there, always on the walking path, and beside having his meal. He just walk only. He's good in meditation, in his walking, and and there are some monks who just like to sit. They don't they don't prefer walking. So again, you got to test it out for yourself and find the right balance for yourself. Okay.
Next question from Dan from China. I spend a lot of time exercising, mainly running, rock climbing, and doing yoga. It is easier for me to concentrate when I'm moving. I can run for hours with my breath and the footsteps directing back to the breath when it wanders. As for climbing, it's more about body awareness and facing up to the fear of falling. I wonder, will this kind of practice help with sitting meditation?
Oh yes, definitely. Definitely. The problem is when you are climbing, you're having the fear that you will fall, and your mind is dwelling on the fear. It's not something like you're fearless or you're being secure in the sitting. So it's better that it's better that you just do running and sitting in order to bring you forward, to develop insight. Because what you are doing, you can only develop concentration. That's all. It's not wrong. It's a way of getting the mind into a state of concentration and calmness, right? But do you have any insight arising? No. Like what you say just now, you have fear. So what happens? You fall at the moment and you are in fear. You think you can go heaven with a fearful mind? I doubt so. So it's better that instead of risking your life, climbing and getting fear, it's better that you go and just run and with your breath, right, until you can gain concentration, and then you start to contemplate about the Dhamma, contemplate about the body, the impurity of the body, contemplate on those things that your mind is inclined to, like for example, hatred. So you contemplate about the defect about hating someone else, the negative part of it, and what should you do to bring it back to a state of normalcy of your mind. Okay.
Next question from Louis in Singapore is about choosing the right tradition. So I wish to go in that practice in one of the three schools, Mahayana, Theravada, or Vajrayana. I try to pick one which I can resonate and connect better. However, after 2 years of searching, I still find myself liking all three schools. So I try to study all the three schools, but just trying to memorize and doing the puja, chanting for one tradition is already too much for me. So how should I pick a school which can go in depth into learning and letting go of the other two without regrets?
First thing is you must have the faith first. we don't have so many things. We will confuse ourselves. You just go to the school that you think that you like. First thing is what you must have the faith, and again you can think properly. It's you yourself who decide which school. You cannot ask me which school. Of course, I will tell you, oh, Theravada, right? But for yourself, you got to decide. Yeah, we can't decide for you. You should decide for yourself that what suits you and what are you aiming for, right? And the training that you're going to training, is there any living example that can lead you, or just your own? Like nowadays people say, we don't have to go to for the any, we just go online, download the thing, and then we listen and we practice, and then bang, here we are, we know already. No, you can't. You need to have someone who are experienced to guide you, right? And for example, if you're Singapore, I can understand in Singapore because Singapore is a multiracial society, right? And we have so many traditions. We have our tradition is called the Theravada, and we have the Mahayanis, and then we have the Vajrayana, the Tibetans. But if you want to learn every tradition to see which one suits you, you're gonna have trouble. Okay? Now, there's one tradition, the tradition, you go and watch your breath, and the tradition of the heart. That is more important, right? The minute you practice in line with the Buddha's teaching, then you go beyond tradition already. The minute, right? You got to start with something basic, easy, hands-on, easy to understand. And that should be the one you should follow, because why? Too much thing, you will get confused. It's the same thing like in the place where there's people exposed to too many things. They don't know where to go. So many choice, so many choice, But if you are with no choice, then you got to, okay. When before there was internet, before there was all this Wi-Fi thing, people have problem in learning things so easily and openly because of this, what we call that, media, Wi-Fi, and things can so easy. See, even China, all over the world, we can jam into this platform easily. But last time, how long? It take months, and whether you can reach the place or not, no, right? So it's important for the guy to decide for yourself, right? And after practicing for some time, maybe you say, I try this Putto for 7 days, Anapanasati for 7 days, chanting of Amitabha for 7 days, or Memi Pemi Om for 7 days, and which one suits you, you take that one. Because all will come to the Buddha's teaching is what? Sila, Samadhi, Panya. All will bring you to the same roots. Same mind. You come back to your mind straight away. Okay? Next.
Next question from Aruna, from Ravi from India, is on having meditation. So the question is quite long, so I just finished reading. How to handle psychic attacks directed at energy centers? What are your suggestions in terms of meditation technique and mental approach? So this is what he has done so far. I feel an intrusive force on my forehead energy between the eyebrows. My family is worried, and myself as well, because it's a popular Hindu meditation method of attacking these two energy centers to gain mental control over other people. I increase the attention I pay to these centers. I start out with breathing in and out through those points, and gradually progress to perceive breath energy emanating from those points. I've also begun to do a lot of metta meditation to counteract these attacks. I have been witnessing satisfactory progress in handling these attacks, but my productivity at work has gone down drastically. So I would like to request Ajahn to guide me Is there anything else that can be done to fend off these attacks and regain my productivity?
Attack, ATTACK?
Is
Who attack her?
say some psychic or energy attack directed at the energy center. So his energy center, he feel an intrusive force in the forehead in between the eyebrow. I don't know who attacked him. Right, yeah. Just say he feel this intrusive energy at the forehead in the eyebrow.
Okay. That's the problem with you actually it's just energy. Nobody is attacking you. You see, your mind go and say that someone attacked me. Actually, it's your energy. It's your energy. That's all. Try to bring the energy and diversify the energy. No, don't let it. If you know that this problem is persisting up in the head, which can cause a lot of distortion, or sometimes you might get headache. But of course, some people they like the kind of a high, you got sort of like get high, very high in the kind high, like people smoke marijuana, the kind of high, but it's not smoking marijuana. I'm talking about meditation, the kind of high. You can have that when your mind is very concentrated, very powerful, right? You got the kind of what we call piti, piti, yeah. So actually, it's good you can have the energy. No one is attacking you. Don't be misled. Like a certain thing can attack you or this and that, right? Sometimes we read too much comic and all this kind of hallucinations, mind making story, and especially and again we in Buddhism we don't emphasize on external thing. We more concentrate on our own mind state rather than the energy attacking from other people. No, we don't do that. Nah? We don't do that. And for her, because it's more long discussion, you might tell her to have a later session. You go to the next one first.
Next one is from Manfred from US. It's about his meditation experience. So one day when he was meditating on egolessness, a thunderbolt suddenly raised up in the middle of my head, and then white flashes of light filled up my whole world in my mind. And then at that moment, I realized that self did not exist. I wanted to cry at that moment, and after meditation, I find that my mind was filled with joy, and everything, whatever I saw, was brighter and more colorful. Even if when I look at trash, it looked lovely. I realized that the earth herself is pure land, and these surprising changes lasted for 7 days, and then it vanished. Dear Kanajan, could you please tell me whether this was an enlightenment experience or were they illusion? It was an enlightening experience. Why did it last only 7 days?
Or it's just yeah. Go ahead.
What should I do to stay in that joyful status consistently?
Oh no, you can never sustain this kind of sensual addictment. No, you need to withdraw back to this human mind state. It's just a mind state of realizations and happiness. That's all. So when you say 7 days, yes, it can last for 7 days, right? But the most important thing is that you got to be mindful and continue to do what you have been doing all this while, and never expect the same experience to reoccur again, because it will lead you to frustration. Just do your normal practice, and what you have been doing, repeat and go forward, because right, your daily life interactions is very important, right? To maintain a mindfulness, to maintain your mindfulness and your samadhi practice, and as you go along, like you say that you contemplate on the egolessness, right? It's good thing, good sign. Carry on.
Next question from Serena from US. So the first question about meditation. Sometimes my body feels heat rising up during meditation. I don't know what causes this. I can warm the body up from feeling cold, but I don't know how to cool the body down. Can Kanajan advise?
Okay. uh, cooling down the body, right?
Yes.
You
You
sit.
you know how to warm up, don't know how to cool it down.
Oh no, no, never mind. You sit longer. It will cool down by itself. You sit longer. When the body reaches the peak of warmness, right? It can never go any further. It will disperse by itself. When you hit the peak, you got to hit the peak. That means heated up and you really feel like wow, like a oven hitting you. Then the next moment, back, cool. Sit longer. You will know it. Okay.
Then his next question is on vipassana. My feeling is so attached to my close family, especially my youngest son. For my son, I worry that I have to do my duty as a mom to prepare for his future. How can I balance this feeling of still loving him and not so attached to him?
Oh, there's no such thing as loving and no attachment. Loving is also a couple with attachment. There's no such thing as you love someone and you don't attach. Cannot be. You know, when you love someone, don't say about attachment. The minute you see contact only pop, your mind consciousness already registered in the opposite of another beings. You know, it's just like an invisible nail or super glue already. Right? This is why people can get, couple when they see, they spark, bang, and that's on fire. The fire of Rakakina, Raga, spark. The same thing. That's why we need to meditate is because of this kind of things, this kind of problem. And of course, because you cannot deny this is your son and how to don't attach. It's okay because as you got to say that this is my duty to my family members. I only fulfilling my duty, right? And this is the balancing. It's okay. You cannot say that I don't attach. How to don't attach? If you don't attach, then you will say that I don't care already, right? But because it is our family members, it's our duty to fulfill. We just fulfill our duty, okay?
Next question from Liz. How can we integrate meditation practice into our daily life as lay people?
Or integrate. No, actually, this we have been repeating again and again. Just have the 5 precepts in your daily life. You must have this 5 precepts. Be mindful, and when times permit, sit and meditate. Right? And again, during your daily life, when there's any kinds of encounterment, anger arises, which is very normal. Jealousies and hatred arises, which is very normal because you are dealing with people that's wrong view. Even ourselves, we're not there to say we have all the 100% right view. We also have a lot of wrong view because why? In our mind, there's always great hatred and delusions. It has been blended into our mind. So if you're under this kind of circumstances, then we got to use the Dhamma to diffuse the situation. That's why it's so important to be mindful and to be able to arrest a different kind of mind state when arising in our daily life. And if you cannot handle the mind state at that moment, just disregard it. Don't feel remorse that why I can't handle it. Just walk away. For example, someone come in so forcefully with anger, want to confront you. You're not going to say that radiate thoughts of goodwill, stand there with a face smiling. You can't just, okay, this is too strong. You just walk away first. And then later you come and diffuse the situation. Right? So you got to, these are some example only that we will encounter in our daily life, right? Okay.
Next question from Kenny, Malaysia. Is it advisable to start with Buddha recitation until the mind is calm, then proceed with breath meditation?
Oh yes, definitely. Because the breath, whether you like it or don't like it, your breath got to be there. It's with your body all the while, right? You can use putto because why? We recommend they use only one method at a time. You don't mix up, right? But sometimes they say put in, toe out, which is not wrong. But again, you put toe. For example, if you use putto when your mind state is very, very chaotic, how to say chaotic? That means too much traffic, mental thoughts in your mind, and you know that your mind is very, very irritating and very easily emotional, affected. Then you want to calm your mind down. Use putto. Your putto must be fast, mustn't be slow. If you put not fast anymore, like a machine gun, you know, in a short only, put fast, put, and then you find what you perceive with each and individual practitioner is that you can perceive in your mind. You see, this mental moment just poof, it just dropped, and the mind just put tone. And when you have attained, when you achieve this state of calmness at time, then we reduce the speed of putto. Then we reduce, and we reduce putto until the mind will zoom into deeper concentrations. And when the breath, when the putto disappear by itself, you see, your breath will take over as object of your focus straight away. But it come back to the breath automatically. Okay?
Then the next question is on one master called Liu Taitan. He recently passed away, and then he said in the YouTube you can see him healing people, and sometimes he say he sees insects and creatures, dead people attacking people's organs, resulting in sickness, cancer, bad luck, etc. And he advises them to do this chant called 小房子 to get healed. So the question from James is, do such entities attack in this way? And question 2 is, do Bodhisattvas help people with problems in such manner?
No comment.
Question.
No.
Okay, next question also from James. There's a jhana method taught in Sri Lanka where the person, after meditating about 1 hour, tells the mind to go into level 1, 2, 3, and 4 jhana. Stay there depending on the intention. May I ask Ajahn if this is correct?
We practice ourselves better. I don't want to say that correct or wrong, because when people they are inclined to the kind of practice, of course that individual has the faith, right? And again, there's whatever method you practice. I want to conclude this way better. Whatever method you practice, the method that can calm your mind down, right? And doesn't cause damage to other people. Remember, doesn't cause harm to yourself and to other people. That means you don't practice until something happen, and then you cannot control yourself, and then that's not right. So it can calm your mind easily, and your greed, hatred, delusions through contemplation subside. Go ahead with the method. This is on concentration practice. I want to reinstate. I am not the authority to say who is right or who is wrong, right? Because concentration practice, there are so many methods from so many traditions in this world, right? And if you were to look into the Buddha's time, Anapanasati, mindfulness of the breath, right? And later is the Satipatthana training, which focus on your body, Kai, Vedana, your feelings, Chitta, your mind, and calm. That means your mental mind state. Dhamma is the method. Now, there are so many methods, right? And when come to different kinds of culture being involved, when Buddhism it was started in what do you call it, India, then be spread into China, Sri Lanka, and towards Southeast Asia, and now it's throughout the world. And with the incorporations of different customs, we said the shifts and changes of the methods. Because certain people, they find that, hey, I use this method, it helps me. And it has been, a majority people has practiced it and benefited from that methods. Now, we are not talking about right or wrong. We're talking about can calm the mind down, right? So you practice that. Now, the individual practitioner, he will know whether he practiced right or wrong, because what, at certain stage of his practice, when he's practicing sincerely, he will find that, how come I'm not going anywhere at all? I like stall, get stuck. How come I'm getting more angry, more greedy, more hatred? How can I be meditating correctly? People will wake up by themselves. And it is that time that people will realize for themselves, they will make a decision whether they are right or wrong. Not us. We are not the one that makes decision for people. Because why? When people have the faith in certain tradition, and you comes along to tell them they are wrong, you're looking for trouble. they will shoot you. Let me tell you, it's better that we just tell them, this is the way. There's this kind of option. You want to try? We only recommend, but we don't enforce. Remember, you look at Buddhism, we never force things. Buddhism has never been any trouble with anybody. Never. Always been bullied only. So remember, we just maintain the thing and do the training, because the Buddha always teaches us to believe the law of karma. Remember this thing, the law of karma. So we must be very careful when we're dealing with this kind of things. So we don't want to be in a position to say that, he's right, or he's wrong, this method is better, that method. No. Whatever people will practice, sometimes they will change. They will change by themselves. When they find that they are not going anywhere, they will change. That's why we have 40 methods, in the Buddha's teaching. 40 methods of meditations. Right? If you were to look into the training of the mind, 40 methods. And the Buddha said, just a handful of leaves, and there's so many leaves in the forest. So I don't want to make this kind of statement. We just say things within the scope, okay? Yep.
We have another 4 or 5 questions.
Go ahead.
So the next question from Yong from Malaysia. I just mentioned that yesterday we shouldn't mentally complain about a monk. If we have done it, how can we ask forgiveness? And I just advise.
Hold on. Wait, can you please repeat your question again?
Sure. So yesterday, Han Ajahn mentioned that we shouldn't mentally complain about a monk. However, if we have done it, how can we request forgiveness?
Easy. Just, you are alone. Just go to a Buddha image or a place of worship which you feel comfortable with, and you just confide your problems and say that, okay, through my word, my action, or my thought and speech, they have intentionally or unintentionally transgressed and offended the member of the Sangha, or the triple gem, the Buddha, the Dhamma, and Sangha. I, your name, sincerely ask for forgiveness. Repeat this thing 3 times, or you can say it out, right? and you will feel better after that. Definitely. A lot of people, when they're asking for forgive, after that they feel better. Yeah. Okay. Hey, Wei Ming, I have another session coming in at 5:30.
Yeah. Okay, so maybe I ask the last one.
Yeah.
Okay, so the last one is from Kenny. To attain Sotapanna, the three factors, namely rites and rituals, unshakable faith, and self-view, needs to be eliminated. How does one know he has no self-identity view?
Okay. You meditate, then you know. It's not that you asking. When you ask, that means you still don't know. Okay. Practice more. Practice more. Okay.
Then So, should we end now or?
Yeah. There's another room coming in.
Okay. Then so maybe we'll end the Q&A for today. Let us just pay respects to childhood.
Yep.
Before childhood. Okay. Let's now. Okay, now. Good now.
Sadhu.
Good. Thank you.
Well, practice well. May you all be well and happy.
See you for the Dhamma talk tonight.
Okay, bye-bye.